And hello everyone, are you ready to make banana ketchup? That's right, banana ketchup. I found a really great recipe for bananas in ketchup. Actually, there's not much tomato in it at all. What brought this on was we had burgers the other night and we didn't have any ketchup in the house. And I thought, well, surely there's something I can make ketchup out of. So I made banana ketchup. It turns out kind of orange. Of course, that's because there's turmeric in it. So let's get started. You'll need 3 to 4 bananas mashed up good to make 1 1/4 cups of mashed banana. You're also going to need 2 teaspoons of freshly grated ginger root, a teaspoon of, actually 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, a teaspoon, or actually a tablespoon of finely diced jalapeno. Let me make sure I told you that right. 2 teaspoons grated ginger root, 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, half a teaspoon of turmeric, and that's half a teaspoon of turmeric and a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. The jalapeno, you want to make sure that you take the seeds out. Now, when you're working with the jalapeno, understand the seeds have that oil, and if you go to rub your face near your eyes, it is going to burn. So don't put your hands near your face. Make sure that when you're done prepping and doing everything while it's simmering on the stove, wash your hands and get some lemon juice and some soapy hand wash, and get that oil out of the pores of your skin so you won't get it in your eyes, because it is a bummer. The other thing is like the onions. It's a sweet white onion, and this is very finely diced white onion. You can see it's tiny little pieces. And you put 2 tablespoons of oil on the stove in a saucepan, and you add the onion. The onion cooks first, and it takes about 5 minutes for it to get translucent and soft. So I'm putting the onion in there to get started. Once the onion has become translucent, you're going to add your ginger root, your garlic, your turmeric and allspice, and the finely chopped jalapeno. That's the next step. And this cup is the remaining, this is the juice of it, or the base. And what you have in here is a half a cup of white vinegar, not apple cider vinegar. The 1 1/4 mashed bananas will go in. 2 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons of rum. You can use spiced rum, white rum, whatever rum you want to use. If you want to make it more Jamaican, use a Jamaican rum. All that does is it keeps it very flavorful, and it also helps preserve it to help it last for 3 weeks in the refrigerator. You can salt it to taste if you like. You can put half a teaspoon of salt in there, or none at all. I don't put any salt in it because we're trying to keep that down, and it doesn't take away from the flavor of it, and it doesn't add very much to it. It's just, salt was always used as a preservative, so with the rum it kind of like hand in hand. And a tablespoon of tomato paste goes in it. That's just to help to thicken it. Helps the bananas bind with everything. And then a tablespoon of soy sauce. It stays really yellow because of the turmeric, and the bananas are kind of cream colored. I mean, if you want a red banana ketchup, just put in a couple drops of red food coloring. That's what a lot of people will do. So I'm going to check on my simmering onions here. Actually, I'm going to put these on this burner because you really can't see where they're at. I'm on that back burner. So I'm going to get my wooden spoon. Actually, it's not even a spoon, it's like a wooden spatula. Dry that off. I just washed some stuff off with it. So I heated up the oil. I'm going to heat it up a little bit higher temperature to get these onions to cook. It'll take about 5 minutes. You can set your timer. once they get translucent, that's when I will add the ginger root, the garlic, and the jalapeno. That goes in with it next. Ginger root, yep. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Turn those beans off. I've got some black beans heating up back there. The reason why the pieces are cut so small is that when you put them in your food processor, now you can use a blender. However, the difference between a blender and a food processor is making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. What's this way? When do I put the turmeric in there? I want to make sure. Okay. So actually, all of this goes in. The liquid and the banana and the tomato sauce are, I guess the liquid ingredients you would call go in last. So we're actually sauteing some vegetables in a sense. And they're about halfway there. So you want to do the liquid stuff last, and mashed bananas is considered basically a liquid. The sauce or tomato paste is basically a type of a liquid item. So the spices and the ginger and the garlic and the jalapeno go in next. And then those will only be in there for about, I'm trying to think what did I do the last time? About 30 seconds, just to get it aromatic. Then you're going to put in everything else, and then you're going to let it simmer on top of the stove for 15 minutes. Let's see how the onions are doing here. Now I'm using olive oil instead of vegetable oil, because I know typically you use vegetable oil when you're making ketchup from scratch, and I just prefer not to. I like to try to make it a healthier version, because olive oil is much more beneficial health-wise for you. So when they say when you're cooking and you're making onions translucent, you're basically cooking them until they're soft, where you can almost see through them. And we want them nice and soft to be able to get this to blend in the food processor well. So I've got 2 minutes going on here. Everything is chopped up very tiny in this. Like, some of these pieces are less than 1/8 of an inch. Just be careful you don't cut yourself when you're cutting them up. So I'm going to move this around this way so you can kind of see where I am. Well, that didn't make it any better, did it? Oh, there's the stove. There's the pan. Okay, so I got a minute left. And then all these yummy things, the ginger root, the jalapeno, the garlic, it's all going to get stirred into this hot oil and onion. Just for about 30 seconds, just to let it get good and aromatic. And then we're going to add the bananas and the soy sauce and the rum. You can add water to it if you like. You want to make it a little bit more of a pouring kind of ketchup. You can do that. But I would suggest doing it like a tablespoon at a time. Because if you add too much at once, then it's watery and then you have banana soup. Sort of. So, timer's going to go off. Yep. And here goes the ginger root, garlic, and the spices, the turmeric and the allspice. Just let it stir in there, get it good and coated, get that smell. About 30 seconds. get this really incorporated into those things that are make it have that flavor. I read somewhere where banana ketchup is a kind of like a staple condiment in the Philippines. That was 30 seconds fast, wasn't it? Okay, so let's turn that off. Now we're going to I add the liquid first, which is the honey, the rum, the white vinegar, and then the bananas. Put those bad boys in there. And I'm going to use this spatula because the honey likes to stick to the mixing or the measuring cup. So I want all that honey to go in there. I don't want it sticking to the cup and not go in the ketchup. The honey replaces sugar. Bananas have their own natural sugar in it, and you don't want extra sugar. You want to have, this is raw, unfiltered honey is what I'm using for this ketchup. And then stir it really well. And as soon as it starts to bubble up a little bit, I'm going to turn the heat down and let it simmer for 15 minutes. Oh, you know what I didn't put in here? The tomato sauce paste. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I thought the color looked off. So there's 1. And there's 2. There we go. And that's going to give it like an orange kind of color, like the batch I made earlier.
You've got mail.
And people say, does it taste like ketchup? Well, it tastes like a different kind of ketchup. That's all I can tell you. Now this is really, really super thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tablespoon of water. And I'm going to turn this heat down. Oh, 15 minutes. I'm going to take this tablespoon and then just a tablespoon of water at a time. Put that in there. And there's 1. Oh, it's making all kinds of funny noises. Isn't that lovely? So I know when I puree this, it's basically going to keep about the same consistency, just not with all the lumps in there. So I don't want to add too much water, so here's 2 tablespoons. I'm going to go with 3. This makes about 2 cups of banana ketchup. It's basically just orange ketchup. So the turmeric is what gives it that more orangey color with the red tomato paste. Just like that. So let this cook, and then we will throw it in the food processor. Okay, so the banana ketchup is done cooking. It went through its 15 minutes on the stove. Now it's time to use the food processor. This is my second one. This one's got a chute on it for when you're doing shredded or sliced items, and it comes right out there. Just like my other one, you have to put it together a certain way for it to work. So you take the whole part of it off, put the top on, put it down, and then you have to turn it to where it engages. And I have this on here wrong already. How about that? Okay. I have to look for the notch. There's a notch on either side of this pitcher part. So I need to make, this is what engages it. That has to be all the way to the right. You're on the room. There it goes. Now it's in there right. And then it's got to be on there just right. I'm gonna get this hot pan out of my way to do this. Get that out of the way. Okay. So in order to do the puree part, I gotta scoop it all into the pitcher. Oh, it's still hot. Just like this. I'm waiting to see if it freaks out the cats, the noise. Because it is a little bit of a noisy bugger. And I put 9 tablespoons of water in here because the tomato paste is really making it thick. I don't want it super thick. So this lid goes this way. And then there's a notch on the side here. And you put it right at that notch, pick it up, and this arm goes, make sure I've got it in position, yep, and then take the handle and pull it across, and it should, I don't have it lined up, don't have it lined up right. Try that again. For some reason, I just had it on here too. It's supposed to go past that point. It doesn't want to do it. That means I don't have it in the right spot. Let's try this again. So I know it. You know, we'll go there. Get in the hole. Sit in the lip flush. Come on, get in there. There we go. One more straight. Nope. Let me do it this way. Put it in there. Put that top on. You're supposed to go all the way across there, buddy. Oh, I know why. It's on the wrong side. Come this way. Touchy little thing. Consistency wise, what we got? Looks like pudding. Let me see. Yeah, it's gonna need about a half a cup of water added to it for it to be not so much a paste. Oops, no. No, I know you're there. There it goes. Let's see what we got. Probably should only use 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. 2 makes it really thick. I don't want it super thick. So I'm going to add more water to it. Okay. So I've added 1 cup already. So now I'm going to add a half. Oh, here we go again. One day I'll figure this out. No, you go. Where's that notch at? No, it's got to be on the other side of it. Okay. Well, nope, it's not in there right. Modern technology. So after adding another cup of water, it has more of a ketchup-y kind of consistency. Take one of my little mason jars here. Wash that out. And take the center piece out. I made a mistake before of leaving it in there and then trying to pour it, and it made a mess. Splashed all over the place. Alright. Yeah, that's more of a ketchup consistency. It needed the water. You just add water till it's the consistency you want. And that, ooh, that's good. Try some of the fresh batch.
That's very good. I think it's very, very tasty. I give it my seal of approval.
You wouldn't know that was bananas, would you?
Hmm?
You don't know it's bananas because it's got allspice and it's got turmeric
Oh, no,
in it.
It's wonderful.
So try it. Let me know what you think in the comments.